At last.
Yeah, sadly,
last.
that we can't have good times
We
last forever or whatever.
we wish this could go on forever.
Last an eternity.
But yeah, this is for those who are no longer or are not in the know by now.
And one of the saddest facts of existence
Yeah.
is that fun cannot last.
Our fourth installment of the Team Knight Rider coverage is fourth and final, and here it is. So,
At least it was a 22 episode season.
yeah, it counts as a long season for sure. But yeah, great fun had by all. We can of course detail all that at the conclusion or whatever. But but yeah, stampeding right in. We start off with episode 17, the Extapha Affair.
Oh!
One down, two to go. Erica, you're on.
Extapha? Extapha?
Oh, yes. At least make sure it's not Extapha.
Extapha, yeah. That could be it too. Yeah.
Is this the mountain climbing one?
Yeah, this is the one where they have to like, Jenny and Trek are like on vacation, and it just so happens that Jenny like stumbles upon a former special ops Marine cohort that is involved in some type of scheme to free a Guatemalan drug lord from a federal in-cave prison.
They're going along,
And
but it's also her ex-fiance, though. Remember?
yes, it is. That's too. Yeah. Yeah.
They're going along, and they stumble upon, in the mountains and the woods, at a campsite,
Yeah. And
and he proceeds to pretend like he's never seen her,
and
even though that's her ex-fiance.
Everything's all right.
Matthew! I can't believe it.
I'm sorry. I don't think I know you.
Matthew!
entirely false. Yeah. So
And you go through yet another cool plot.
zany schemes and antics about how Jenny and Trek get wrapped up into helping with the
Supporting the dadgum villain, yeah.
yeah, and also the fun subplot of Kyle and the rest of the team getting intel from the current wife, or the like an ex-girlfriend or somebody in America still.
Oh,
Where
yeah,
they-
his real wife of In the Meantime.
Yeah, where they get to play as a plumbing service company. And,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, there's plumbing. There's people posing as plumbers.
plumbers and friendly neighbors and
The same thing's happening downstairs.
What's gonna happen when someone has to go, number...
Call upon him.
yeah,
People such as Duke
it's
and them. True.
It's
Yep.
it's watching that episode is actually a pretty esoteric experience. This is what I would call it, because
Good episode again.
there's a lot there.
And you barely learn who Extapha is.
Yeah,
The name of the political prisoner
he's just
in the prison that they're trying to spring.
yeah that's him. That's definitely him. But he was he was only in the show for like 3 to 5 minutes.
Because it's this other white people's couple,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah,
Where the man of that couple is posing as the son
yes.
of the lady and
The,
Jenny's ex-fiance.
yeah, it's another. They nodded up
Just because
properly.
he's
on this.
short and looks kind of young,
Yeah,
that he poses as the son. What a great plan.
yeah. Superficially, it works really well, though. I mean,
But it involves,
had me fooled.
because they're climbing experts,
Yeah,
they force them to, at gunpoint, they make them, it's kind of like cliffhanger.
yeah,
They tell you to climb a mountain because you're good at climbing,
yeah, and then
to gain access to the outer wall of the prison, something like that.
Said prison, yeah.
Pretty great.
It's some of the favorite moments here. We have we got the loud. I mean, the Foley, the weapons on this episode were particularly loud. Like, there were. I mean, usually they are loud during the run of the show, but on this episode they like cranked it up to 11 or something. They did a Spinal Tap on this episode.
Loud reports.
Yeah. It's the only episode with the black and yellow Juffles.
Oh, wait, this is that?
Yes.
Okay, I don't remember this being that one. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, in our interesting saga of the two different motorcycle paint jobs.
Literally the only episode. Now,
And the Juffles mobile.
the black and yellow Juffles does show up in the intro sequence of a later one, but it's the literal
You
title.
at least see it a few other times.
It doesn't count.
But, yeah. Weirdly,
It was,
this being the time they actually use it.
we speculated on this one. Was this episode partially funded by Boston Market? Because they had that scene where it was at the dinner table,
Yeah, the product placement
prominently featuring.
really rammed down your throat.
Yeah, and they could have even like colored out the Boston Market part, and you would still see the logo. That's how prominent this one was, and I like this one too because of the ending of the episode, where like Domino is like hinting at the fact that, hey, maybe you and Kyle should become an item.
To Jenny?
To Jenny in some in a very subtle and non-blunt fashion, and then Kyle just shows up on the screen right after Domino, the car, suggests that. It's a dumb, sappy ending, and
Kyle.
made my heart flutter a little bit, you know.
In our continuing plot thread with the
with
possible lovers liaison between Kyle and Jenny,
the power couple of the episode for sure. But and we can't also forget about that scene whenever they play porn on a portable television to distract the guy.
Yeah. Man, that episode's got it all.
The old guy that looks like a T. Yeah.
Yeah, he quickly pirates this episode of Red Shoe Diaries or whatever it is.
I'm surprised they even let that on network TV, to be honest. It's
that ain't much to watch.
Another prominent example of how the 90s truly were a different time.
Inappropriate.
Yeah. Anyway, next episode called Home Away from Home, episode 18.
Who the hell are you guys?
This is the one that involved the female hacker known as Captain Zap.
Oh, and the town.
And yeah, where she gets captured, and the people that captured her evidently are KGB and Soviet sympathizers.
They chase this hacker girl
that ship her off to this Soviet town.
Except somehow KGB agents get her.
And
then it ends up being this weird
Iowan town,
corrupt town that has a crazy secret.
Yeah. The town seems to be stuck. I mean, in a plot synopsis, I saw the 50s, but I kind of want to call it more like the 60s or maybe early 70s at the latest. But Yeah, the admin, the rulers, the top people of the town, the mayor, and all that.
Oh yeah, the mayor and the sheriff.
Are KGB, we already said KGB Soviet sympathizers. And for some weird reason that they don't say during the episode, they say they want to keep the town in a pro-Soviet fashion.
Then there is no choice. In order to preserve the town, we must kill them all. We just can't keep doing this.
It's something to do with one of those sleeper cells.
Midwest America.
Where they're Russians,
Yeah.
but they grew up in America,
Is that a sensitive topic now?
barely even knowing the...
Should we have filmed this episode 2 weeks ago? No, anyway.
Oh, yeah, that might count as hot button at this point.
Anyway, we have, we have no idea why they even decided to do this. In the episode, they keep saying how, the USSR just kept changing hands or whatever. But that's all they say about it. They were like, we wanted a place of stability and non-changing while our motherland was going through all these changes.
In a house of many mansions.
Yeah. Yeah, so...
I just remember the whole town was some kind of little miniature Russian sleeper cell.
Yeah, and there was a cave nearby that did host a Soviet base that they were doing all the tech stuff with. But the outside of just the general plot of this episode being kind of insane and crazy, there were a lot of outrageous moments within the episode.
That's one of the ones that I probably should have done a little more recap on. I remember the town and the hacker girl.
Yeah. Just how the KGB captures Captain Zapp, that entire sequence. It's like a 3-minute action sequence, and it's amazing.
Okay.
My favorite character in this episode probably have to be the older KGB agent that's so laser focused on his checkers game that nobody can do anything to disturb it.
Checkers?
Yeah.
You are either very brave or quite stupid for showing up here and interrupting my game.
The KGB agent was playing checkers.
The sheriff? Or am I thinking of a different man?
It would be the older guy that Kyle tries to go to ask a favor from.
Oh, okay. I just remember the people that were in that 150s diner.
Yeah, the kid was cool in that.
A different man?
Yeah.
Huh.
But yeah, and another act of stumbling in this series was whenever Trek and Erica just suddenly find the KGB base cave. They're just going along out there and they're like, "Oh hey, we found this." A lot of stumbling in this series.
Good.
But the use of in an instance of high technology, using Morse code on a stoplight to indicate that Trek and Erica are captured.
Oh, yes,
in the
I
base.
do remember that. That was awesome.
How much longer do you think I have to send this message?
I think you can stop now.
That they were, of course, able to identify.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they knew who it was. Only Trek could do something that harebrained and crazy. And
of course, they're going to mention something specific enough.
Yeah.
They're going to say, it's going to say, "Hey guys, Erica is," or whatever.
And, of course, them being mad as hell and not taking it anymore. That was classic. But, yeah.
Whatever that's even from.
Yeah, but, it has the classic plot element of, I knew somebody that did this, and now I feel like I owe you because they helped my agency out, but I'm not gonna like doing this for you type thing. Basically, a key bit of intel has to be dropped for the episode to go on. And
that's kind of a good trope.
The older KGB agent acts like it's a big thing. So I like the fact that the mayor pours sodas for a living. She's a humble person, civil servant. She works at that soda bar.
It was the girl, yeah.
Yeah. I mean...
Yep, kind of like when your senator is also a farmer.
She's a down-to-earth person.
Yeah.
And of course, I also like a good nod to like major historical events. So the Tiananmen Square nod. Whenever I can't remember exactly who it was. The kid's mom. That's who it was.
Somebody gets in front of
the kid's mom stands in front of the troop transport.
Or
that always warms.
A death mobile of some kind?
Yeah. And I mean, I interpreted that as a Tiananmen Square reference, but yeah.
Could be.
Yeah. But yeah. So, again, an episode that left me asking more questions than the episode actually answered.
Which isn't a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing, no. But I'm still wondering to this day, probably by the time you're watching this, like, why is a Midwest town even sympathizing with the Soviets, you know? That's the main question I got. But they've never heard of radio or television, so that's a thing.
Good deep cover, I assume.
Oh, it's great deep cover.
In the middle of Iowa?
Yeah. Maybe they picked the one town that, like, had no radio or television reception, or cell phone reception back in the day. But yeah.
Just don't take kindly to that kind of thing around there.
But, yeah, this next episode.
Yeah, which one is it?
It's the one where,
Anything on the scanners?
I'm not detecting any activity.
Widen scan area.
Good idea, Dennis.
Activate boosters.
Using retros. Emergency braking.
a weapon has been stolen from a high-tech company. I think it's like an electronic.
Oh, talking about AMP? The AMP episode?
Yeah, the AMP episode. The EMP device. The IMP. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, wait, that is EMP, isn't it?
That's
Okay,
EMP.
yes, good for me. I'll take that on the chin.
The IMP episode. Yeah, it's where the IMP grenade launcher device.
Say it correctly.
Yeah. The EMP. Yeah.
AMP.
The EMP device has been stolen from a high-tech weaponry company, and Team Knight Rider was called to get it back.
It had something to do with assembling it, didn't it? There was like 3 different locations. It was kind of like an episode of G.I. Joe.
Oh, yeah.
There was 3 different parts that they had to cobble from 3 different locations.
Yeah, components. So Duke goes undercover as an employee.
Yes, where Duke gets to play an office employee at the company for
very great
sonograms.
What are you doing?
I was just...
You were just looking over. I wasn't goofing off.
I mean, he was well within his element on that one.
Again, yeah.
Let me tell you. But, yeah, and of course...
Yeah, it's always awesome when he does it.
Erica got to do more sexy stuff to be the other undercover agent, which is always good. We have a pacer in this episode. An AMC...
The nerd, the mechanic guy,
pacer,
the nerdy mechanic that is trying to help out and makes a sixth Team Knight Rider vehicle.
Team Knight Rider member vehicle.
Named Octavius?
Yes, and it has its own AI.
That's a straight up yellow AMC Pacer.
Yeah. And the AI.
Yet another iteration of, oh man, that AMC Pacer sure is the ultimate horrible car.
I'm just glad.
Screw you guys.
Yeah, I'm just glad it wasn't being being driven by David Schwimmer.
Yet again.
Anyway.
Showbiz and Hollywood.
Yeah.
Taking a crap on AMC, and specifically AMC Pacers.
Yeah, we also have a phenomenal, great 90s parody of nerd culture, man. Whenever the dollar store David Carradine is rolling through the
oh yes, there's a
office.
gaggle of nerds that they
and they embarrass Trek. They're like, dude, can you sign my Apple Newton? Mm-hmm. Can you put this without genetically?
You
can. I could not have a more better genetically engineered friend. Sign Trek.
Would you sign my Newton? Sure. If you could just write to my good pal Melvin, I never could have genetically engineered a better friend.
I was just gonna write Trek.
Trek is good.
Don't you guys know, or don't you know it's the nerds and geeks aren't cool yet?
It's
still several years until we.
And it was great because later in the episode, Trek was talking about how those guys made an embarrassment of Star Trek fans.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity to say something like, "Man, you guys are a disgrace to nerds and Trekkies everywhere."
Yeah, I would have taken legit Robert Carradine instead of the dollar store version that they
Boy,
hired.
you know that's bad. Or maybe you like Robert Carradine. I do not.
Oh man. But yeah, we also get speaking of cool cars, there's a Ford Probe in this one as well. So my boy Chad gets a little bit of representation.
I won't turn away the first generation body style of a Probe.
And a little bit down the line. Now, we were debating this the last time we watched this. Whenever I first watched the episode, I saw the physical squibs of a physical explosion.
Oh, the villain's weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is with this? We're talking about EMP pulse.
But it's a fiery explosion.
It's
on the screen.
An actual firearm.
Yeah.
My systems are shutting down.
Kyle, it's no good.
Jenny, I love.
Because she fires it first to disable electronics on all the supercars, which is cool and what was mentioned in the episode.
You're wielding a giant weapon. It's actually two different ones that both.
But then.
Hideously stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're holding this thing.
And then all of a sudden.
You shoot a red. Not really a laser. It's like kind of a Kool-Aid. It's like a red cloud mist.
Yeah.
Electronic effect.
And
yeah.
The second time she shoots it,
to give the viewer a clue, you have to do what?
You indicate that. Well, there's an explosion on the screen.
By a string of squibs on the ground.
Yeah.
And sparks and flame flying up.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be an EMP attack.
If it was a raw EMP attack, it would either be like some type of brilliant blue thing, like a plasma orb or something, or it would literally be nothing. One of the two.
Oh, I thought it was great.
But it's great because...
An episode chock full of the EMT sparks and flames.
Well, the very same weapon goes on to hurt people.
Yeah,
organic
we're
matter.
Popping tires.
And popping tires.
She's attacking the members of Team Knight Rider.
Yeah.
With an EMP pulse.
and it all pops out of the same barrel.
That's gonna maybe hurt or kill them.
And it's the same ammo.
Yeah. Are you supposed to think there's both being fired out?
Is it?
Are you just supposed to not know? Are you supposed to not know that about EMP pulses?
Is it more futuristic than the episode even gave it credit for? That's what I want to know. This mystery gun is insane. It's crazy.
Or unless maybe that's what an amp actually is.
Yeah. That's also
like empath.
Yeah.
And this had a good one-liner, or good to me.
Oh.
The Miller Digital. I don't remember the exact phrasing of it, but it was one of the places they had to go snoop and do their sleuthing. And then later they're like, that's the same thing we got at Miller Digital!
Dad, what's happening? A sonic field. It's just like the one that threw those guards around at Miller Tech.
So, for the past couple weeks that I've been roaming the streets saying something like,
going,
sure could have used that back at Miller Digital.
Yeah. Where was this at Miller Digital? Yeah.
What is this, Miller Digital?
But this also has my this has my favorite Domino one-liner too. Whenever she's like, whenever Jenny drives her in a fashion that like has Domino up in an angle like this, where the bottom is.
Oh, yes. And this involves one of those things where the car drives on 2 tires.
And Domino, after being put down on 4 tires again, proudly proclaims, "I love trying new positions."
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
To me, that's kind of a...
that's great.
That's a risque line.
Yet another racy moment with Team Knight Rider.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
Yeah.
Kopp and Goodman, or whoever did that.
That was my favorite one-liner from Domino in the entire series. So, yeah, it was clever.
I love trying new positions.
Anyway, episode 20. Apocalypse Maybe.
Another good one.
Yes, this is this was
like that they're all good, but
this was way up there. Nice to know that they started saving anyway.
Yeah,
but
this is another killer one.
The general plot synopsis: an earthquake machine is stolen by televangelists.
Yep, this is our televangelist episode.
And is Team Knight Rider's job to get it back or disable it or whatever. Ensure it doesn't cause harm.
They have one of those doo-doo preachers.
Yeah.
That involves one of those butthole cults.
Mm-hmm.
That involves a Zud-ass megachurch.
Yes.
Remember that pyramid building?
Yeah, like where it kind of looks like they photoshopped the Pyramid Casino, but it was a dedicated building because they were filming out in front of it. But anyway, and it has a good plot twist to it too. One of the team members helped design the earthquake machine that winds up getting used for unethical purposes. That was in a move that should surprise absolutely everybody. Trek, he was the one that designed it.
One of the Knight Riders,
and
turns out to be a design and invention whiz. For a seismic synthesizer.
Yeah, it's pretty advanced.
Be made.
Yeah.
Something to do with his old MIT professor.
Yes.
When he was like an 8 or 9 year old at MIT.
Yeah.
And that guy.
It was him.
Joined this complete butt crap televangelism cult.
Yes. And started using it for the cult's purposes. It also gets the award of quickest 45 minutes ever so far. This episode just moves.
Oh, was it over in a flash?
Yeah, but this is the one-off intro sequence. I think they used. Wait, no, it's the more rarely used intro sequence, but I thought it was different because I haven't seen it in a little while.
That they switched, yes. It was interesting. They did another footages. What was that? A total of 3?
Yeah.
I think they had a first one and then they had a second one. Mm-hmm. And this was the use of a third one, but I believe it was the only time they ever used that.
Yeah.
Third one. For whatever reason, they went back to one of the others for the rest of the episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, so in order to make it more interesting and
pretty weird,
gain viewer interest at the late season. But yeah,
of course you have to have your cult.
Yeah.
Robe, tunics or whatever.
Yeah, it's a cult.
And you have to remember when they were sitting on the football field and Trek was like pretending to be one of the actual cult members.
Oh yeah, this involves some great Trek pretending.
That was some good knowledge that I use for my life. Everybody's happy. The lady beside him, where he has to fake it and say, "But sister, shouldn't we also notice something?"
Yeah, I mean,
and everybody's in a poop.
Yeah,
it was like a choir robe.
They have
choir robes or like a graduation gown, a white graduation outfit.
Their own cult attire. Yeah,
a doo-doo cult outfit.
Yeah. So, remember the part where Domino stays clean during a desert cruise, like just after, as she's going through the desert, and even just after. She's perfectly clean. Not a speck of dust.
In the same way that your hair never gets messed up.
Yeah, your hair stays.
This Mustang can go through the desert and not be the least bit dusty.
Yeah. They also new attachment for Attack Beast. He gets a flamethrower and makes. Wait, no, Attack Beast had a flamethrower before, I think. But
I don't know. Was this the one where he uses it?
Yeah, makes extensive use.
So you can
of the flamethrower.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and it's the other episode where where something happens to the Jort jet because of the earthquake. So they have to tie the vehicles down with a ratchet tie.
Yeah, we got treated with another group of shots of
mechanics and team members scrambling.
Whoa!
Scrambling, it's ratchet tie down.
You guys better fasten us down quick.
That's always a good time to see. Yeah,
tying them down. Yep.
This one also wins the greatest green screen effect award with that stupid shot.
Oh my gosh, when they were walking into the abandoned
with the overlay,
that old gas station building or whatever it was,
where the building was like a digital overlay on a green screen.
It looked like crap to begin with, and then what happened?
So there's a pole.
You got a great double whammy
on the building that they're supposed to walk in front of, but they walk behind the pole, but somehow still get up onto the porch.
Yeah,
they bend physically.
It's supposed to go like this. It's see-through when it's not supposed to be see-through.
Yeah,
great stuff.
Yeah, you're supposed to cut the pole and then let the guy go through, but they didn't do that.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
So, it's another. It's the second episode, too, of the high-tech device in an old abandoned building. Way back in our first batch of episodes, you had the, what was it, the superheater ray that was in that old abandoned gas station, I think. And, if I remember right...
When they had the guy with the, nitroglycerin?
Yeah, the gas weapon.
Where they had to like go under the
Yeah, they went in, but yeah, it's
good
another
recurring
instance
theme of what seems to be a decrepit building in the high desert of California.
Yeah, we successfully reused that plot device. So yeah, and the return of the high intensity remix of the theme at the end. Remember the first time we got They played it for the first time during the cruise.
Okay,
The
I
last-
never noticed.
The last,
It's a different theme music?
it's the more intense version of the theme.
Okay, I'd have to hear them both one after the other.
It's
yeah.
got that cool breakbeat drum thing.
Slightly different mix. Well, good
Yeah.
for them.
So, yeah, second time they used it in the credits.
Yeah.
It's always good to hear that. So, yeah, episode 21.
Yes, we're getting up there.
Yeah, Spy Girls is what this one's called.
Well, sweetheart, if you were good enough for Nixon, you're good enough for my son. Can you start right away?
My bags are in the car.
The non-Charlie's Angels.
Yeah.
3 attractive young women.
Yeah.
Who
team up with Team Knight Rider.
Great formula for misunderstanding and insulting and not trusting.
Yeah.
But having to team up.
Yeah. They go after a collectible ceramic whatever egg.
There's a Fabergé egg in this episode.
A Fabergé egg that is hiding a sinister, or not sinister, but hiding a very valuable secret.
This was one of those convoluted ones.
Yes.
That I either couldn't remember or couldn't follow.
This one is very convoluted.
It's the difference between Moldova, Moldavia, and whatever country would be part of like either South America or Latin America.
Yeah, because
why is this Alejandro?
Yeah.
It's a Latino man, a man from the Western Hemisphere.
Oh yeah,
that's some kind of ex-dictator. It's
an ex-dictator, and
it's a president. It's a guy. It's a politician in exile who used to run this country.
They
call it Moldavia and Moldavia, which is in Russia.
Yeah, you really got to. Well, not. It's in the Eastern European bloc.
A former USSR.
Yeah.
Called Moldova.
AKA
Moldavia.
You really got to know your like Eastern Bloc
used
history.
to be run by this guy that you would think would be running a country in South America.
Yeah, like Venezuela or something. Yeah,
and his mom, she was actually quite lovable.
Oh,
I did enjoy the mom character.
One of the best characters ever in the
She's
series.
funny.
Yeah, but
Rosa, what are you girls up to?
Rosa, there is something you should know about Alex.
He's mad. He's building a bomb in your backyard.
What are you talking about? My son is doing no such thing.
Go look for yourself. He's got some men working in the garage.
I don't have to look. He's too much of a boob to plan anything this elaborate.
the mom is, again, somebody you wouldn't think would probably hail from Eastern Bloc, but there's also just having to team up with an agency that doesn't work for Flag. I think that was a first.
Yes, they were called Special Ops,
which
we never got to see their boss though.
Yeah, what Special Ops are they for? Unless, no, that wouldn't be Team Knight Rider being Special Ops for Flag.
DEA, ATF.
But yeah, you never know who they get to
NSA
ultimately do Special Ops for, which is odd.
They made sure to make a couple Charlie's Angels jokes.
Oh, they had to.
Because the three of them are all...
they are all...
beautiful women.
Beautiful women. And
capable of...
there's three of them. And
of seductress infiltration.
And they kick ass. So, yeah. This involves a lot of nurse play, which was kind of
odd. If you like the gals in the nurse outfits, this is an episode for you.
Yeah, and great hacking ability on the part of not Charlie's Angels. Whenever she spends like literally 3 seconds hacking into the Pentagon mainframe.
There's a gal that is a master hacker.
Yeah.
Right up there with Trek.
All she has to do is press a button, and there it is. She's in the mainframe.
Yeah, they're like speed hackers. Let's see. This episode involves ninjas.
Yeah, it does.
Or ninja suits.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of action in this episode, too. More than you think would be. the fight scene in their whenever the two ladies are captured, Erica and the brunette lady from Special Ops team are captured. The break-in and rescue fight scene was ridiculous on that, I thought. Greatest background music award for sure. With the keyboard stabs.
This is where, what was our conjecture? This is the second to last episode.
Yeah.
And they brought in all of this way fucking lardy-ass music.
Very 90s.
There was your classic orchestral stabs, which is enough to crack us up anyway.
Yeah.
But then they had these scores that were like influenced by some other previous 90s music.
Yeah, kind of like
and some of these mixes that were like
kind of like New Jack. Like,
this guy went to town.
Yeah.
Aone or whoever it was.
Yeah.
This guy.
I was wondering if
did they specifically bring him in?
Yeah.
To breathe new life into the show, the score, for the purpose of hopefully being picked up for another season.
You gotta get them.
Our conjecture.
You gotta get them interested and hyped up and everything. See, I was wondering if that Aone character, that guy was like, if that was the writer's name or like an alternate name for Daniel Lenz, because it had a very Psychosonic-ish sound.
Had to get that in there.
Yeah.
Clearance requested. Please enter your 4-digit code. Approved. Searching memory bank.
At least the intense, yeah. I'll never miss an opportunity to name drop Daniel Lenz.
And Moby and Brian Eno and them.
So, yeah, but
or Beck.
Yeah. Do we want to bring Beck? But yeah.
Speaking of beautiful women, can you speak briefly onto our new employee back here?
Yeah, so she just showed up like, what, 25, 30 minutes ago? Yeah.
Is that in honor of
potentially
Erica and Jenny and the girls?
That's got to be that's probably Erica's mom or like an aunt or something. So, yeah, look at her. Look at her. She's like...
She's kind of in the way, yeah, she's possibly
I hope I wasn't
looking around the room.
No, I wasn't covering up her head the entire time. Good. Whew. I was sweating. But
it's a great addition.
Yeah.
She's clearly meant to be up there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's
by golly.
It's perfect. Perfect fit, perfect everything. She the only one looking around from the back. That's the best part.
Let's see, what else happened in the non-Charlie's Angels? That weird light blue. Did we say that was a Ferrari?
Yeah, it had either a Ferrari or Lamborghini badge on the front. There was only one shot where you get to see it, but by golly, if you thought it was like a GT350,
it was a weird supercar.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
it had headlights or tail lights like a Corvette,
and that's what threw me off. I was like,
clearly, yeah. They of course didn't show the logo, but it looked like the little yellow shield.
Yeah. So, and
whatever the heck that thing was, and it got brutally violated.
Yes.
What were some of our other casualties for
a Chevy?
That doggone Chevy Astro van.
The Astro. So long, Chevy Astro. Which we forgot to mention. I think the Pacer took a dump or got sacrificed.
It didn't wreck. It had a tire get popped.
Oh yeah, that's all that happened to the Pacer. Yeah, that's fine. Back to this. Yeah, it was the Astro, the Ferrari / Lamborghini, probably Ferrari.
And then a Ford finally ate a crap. Remember it was that mid-70s T-Bird.
The T-Bird, yeah.
It was a different episode, but yeah, it was great to see that. Them damage something that was not
Well,
Ford, Lincoln, Mercury, or Mazda.
it was not new and not marketable at the time. That's why you could take it.
Exactly. Yeah, that was their way to do it. Yeah.
So, yeah, but yeah, so long classic Ford T-Bird. But yeah, anyway,
people firing Uzis.
Lots of gunfire in this one.
People, a lady, elderly woman, the mom lady wielding a giant handgun, looked like a Desert Eagle.
Oh, the Desert Eagle.
It's always great to see.
A 50.
It's always great to see a little old granny with a huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The gun went out to like here.
Freaking. What was the other? What was the other mass appeal of? Oh, the caviar.
Yes.
Some kind of weird connection with caviar. You got to hand it to him once again for putting this detailed information and science into the episodes.
Yeah.
It had something to do with synthesizing a chemical agent.
Yes.
With some kind of ingredient or some kind of chemical commonly found in caviar.
Yeah. And I don't know why that subplot even had to be a thing. Because it's not like they were trying to kill a massive amount of people or successfully poison one of the key plot members.
It was a bluff.
That's what it was.
It was him and his mom's bluff to get him back in power.
That's what it was, yes. So, yeah, that was clever, very intelligently written.
Oh, and that house was pretty ridiculous.
Oh, the house was great.
How are you allowed to live with your mom? First of all, you used to run a country,
and now you're living with your mom.
It was a pleasantly ridiculous episode.
Oh man! And let's not forget about the Nixon line. If Erica was good enough for Nixon, good enough for her.
Yep. Yeah, if you were good enough for Nixon, you'll be good enough for my Alejandro.
Yeah, that was a great episode. Yeah.
Yeah, good enough for Nixon.
Yeah, that was good.
And our series finale.
Series finale.
Intend to be, of course, this is one of the many shows where they thought they were, or hoped they were maybe going to get another season time.
But yeah, a season/series finale.
What is our series cutoff / finale?
Legion of Doom is the episode title.
Wisst gar nicht, was ihr verpasst, wenn ihr nur eure Sprache sprecht.
Dante, you want to translate that?
No, not really.
It involves a mysterious presence warning the team about a showdown with the archenemy Mobius.
Man. Yeah, we wrapped the season up with our main arch villain.
Yeah, and
Lyndon guy.
Of course.
And then we get the
mystery man.
Deep Throat, the informant.
Yeah, Deep Throat.
The guy that hides in the shadows of either the closet room or
And Mobius's master plan is to assemble all of the other bad guys throughout the show and have them kind of work Team Knight Rider into the meeting on the pier.
Yeah, this involves previous Knight Rider villains.
Yeah.
The
ship owner.
Cool British man who hijacked the Jort jet.
Yeah.
The guy that would have made a good Die Hard villain.
Yeah.
It was a lady who, that's his henchwoman.
Yeah.
With the big buff German guy.
Yeah, that's them. Yeah, there were a couple of others.
The magnate from, I don't remember who. But yeah, there was like 3 or 4 of these cool past villains.
It wasn't all of them. Sadly, the guy that looked like Serge Tankin did not get reinvited.
Oh, our French, the guy from the French Western?
Yeah, but...
Or the French guy from the Old West episode?
Yeah, you can't win them all, I guess. But yeah,
and you will go about your business.
But yeah, so... But yeah, this one, of course, has a lot of cool things being series finale. We got another use of the black and yellow Juffle.
There is two?
There is two. It's a very brief section of this episode. I think when they're conjoined for the one time, it's black and yellow.
Okay, so at least they used it
twice.
A little more than one time?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, the seventh car to be featured, Night Alpha, who only speaks German.
Oh, the Euro, yes.
That little Euro car.
That Ka. Not only is there a crow.
So yeah.
Reformulation 1.
It would be Kit,
There's
Crow.
also a Ka that is just Night Alpha.
Night Alpha.
And was some kind of little compact
car.
It wasn't a Mini Cooper, but it was some kind of small.
Probably what Ford was making to compete with the Mini Cooper at the time.
Yes, meant to look European. But, yes, that was awesome.
Yeah.
When they were calibrating the AI.
That was great.
System.
Somehow.
And it only spoke German, and then when he's working on it, and he switches it in the attempt to get it to speak English, and then it speaks French for a little bit.
It's always locked to anything but English. So that's always good.
Something European.
Yeah. It has this crazy plot point of Mobius hacking a satellite for mind control.
Yeah, this was the episode where he unveils this plan of a mind control, and it was beamed down via satellite.
Yeah.
And they try it out on Duke.
And it worked. If he was faking it, but they were under the impression that it worked. So it didn't work.
It does and doesn't.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
I think
we'll chalk it up to the fact that he is hard to put under mind control.
Because I think that.
Same with Trek. But yeah, they thought it was what's it called? Red herring.
Yeah.
Patsy.
They went over
program.
They went over how hard Duke was to control.
But then it ended up being real later in the episode, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get your final helping of Mobius.
Yeah.
Who rides his high-tech wheelchair.
Yeah.
You get to see Mr. Mysterious, what do they call him? Shadow.
Yeah, Shadow.
Night Industries man.
Yeah. Who,
apparently you get the black and yellow Juffles again. Really great.
And that's the thing is,
some cool lines out of Play-Doh.
And, probably the best special, it would be a tie between the derp green screen effects from last episode. But we also get a nice reverse fire in this episode.
Oh, the backwards flames. True.
Whenever they just, instead of having a car go forward, they just reversed that same exact shot so that the car
missed to forget the backward flame. Yep.
But I laughed about that shit for like 3 minutes. It's good. It's good network TV. But yeah.
And our villains and Sinister Six.
Yeah.
That you don't know what happens to.
No, they all just kind of break up, fall away during the episode. They just, their plot points kind of end. And
what is the bucket? Why do I keep thinking about a little bucket for this episode? What happens? They're standing around. They took care of the Sinister Six, or the ones that everybody but Mobius. And then they're like, surely he isn't just trying to throw us off.
Oh yeah.
And Trek and them are like, yes, these are obviously diversionary tactics.
Yeah. Does that count as self-aware?
And then Kyle says, well, we would be on the Georgette if we weren't here.
Yeah. And then...
To the Georgette.
Yeah. And then...
Kyle.
As it turns out, that's where he was the entire time.
So you get Team Knight Rider to leave the jet. Which they do every episode. To do what? It's pretty fascinating. He holds this bucket, he's in his wheelchair,
Yeah.
But he somehow knows to push this button, and right in the middle of their little round table, in their strategic meeting room and war room.
How does he know where said special device actually is?
He meets up with Mr. Shadow, or knew he was there, so walks in when that guy is standing there doing nothing but hiding in the shadows.
And pushes a button to unveil.
Yeah, deploys this, what it is. That turns out to be none other than
the kit.
The kit car.
The kit CPU is.
You see the little light going back and forth.
And what was in that
table? It's a little, what looks like a bucket module.
Yeah.
And it says kit on it.
Just in case you were confused.
To leave absolutely no,
as to what it was. Yeah, so.
And then the guy disappears.
Yeah.
The hologram fails mysteriously right when that happens. And,
Mobius takes off with Kit.
Your series ends with
kind of a crappy
Kit being kidnapped by Mobius.
Of course, they were again probably banking on the fact that they were going to get a season 2, so they would have had to resolve that plot point.
That's kind of our crying shame about this show.
Season 2
is that when they were thinking / hoping they would,
and they didn't,
and were not.
Yeah. So now
this season finale that was supposed to end on this clever cliffhanger.
Yeah. And they also have you covered on another angle, because after that
you're screwed on.
After that.
Yeah, what's our epilogue?
The Team Knight Riders are summoned to...
The Kit program leaves them these map coordinates.
Yeah.
When he gets kidnapped.
Which are displayed on the screen in the meeting room. So they
go out.
They go out there and...
To...
see...
like a picnic field or something.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome scenery.
Walking over.
Honest, but they...
and turns into a cemetery.
Yeah. Where the one, Michael Knight, is buried.
Of course.
Michael Knight.
Yeah, you see a little gravestone.
Michael Knight RIP, is what it says. But true fans of the show, are not surprised by that fact.
Yeah, he was presumed dead from the very beginning of the real Knight Rider.
So we have to do a what's the big fucking deal.
So you don't quite understand. We thought maybe he died twice.
But also, who's the man? Like, there's a guy that comes in on the right side of the screen and is like, I bet you have a lot of questions, don't you?
The show ends awesomely. They're standing there, they see this.
I see.
Erica is hot, and they say something like,
I see.
Boy! They say, I forgot what one of them actually says.
Yeah.
Man, that sure is Michael Knight's alleged resting place.
Yeah.
And then you see this man from the back of his head, because the real Knight Rider was busy on what that doo-doo.
Yeah, Nick Fury. Yeah.
Baywatch, or maybe they were filming Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Baywatch.
He was too busy.
Well, you guys probably have a lot of questions, don't you?
Yeah.
Maybe I can tell you. I'm Michael Knight. Or at least I was.
I bet you guys. So is that a third Michael Knight then?
I'm David Hasselhoff, or I kind of am. He's in his big black leather duster coat or whatever it is.
Yeah.
His cool Michael Knight jacket and his Michael Knight hair.
I mean, it's kind of badass.
He comes up and says,
I
am not David Hasselhoff.
Yeah. He always
in a different man's voice.
He always has his arms crossed like this, so you know he means business and
a
serious.
Different man.
Yeah, but he's like,
and he'll say something like, "Yes, speaking of not being the real Knight Rider, I have some things to teach you guys."
Yeah, and then
it's the end of your show.
That's where it ends.
Sorry to give everything away and give you bad news, but that is the end of your Team Knight Rider show.
And that's insane. I mean, again, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. They were like, dude, we are so getting a second season.
You're free to dream up your own follow-up for what happens with
all
the open-ended, unanswered questions of the show and the Knight Rider universe.
The 5 or 10 people that are still asking the questions. Yeah, but
yes, we should form a online conjecture society. Or something.
I guess informal greetings. Post whatever questions about the plot you have down in the comments, so that maybe the writers can answer them if they watch the.
We should form a real one instead of just using.
Yeah, we should.
Instead of just using the comments to be the chat forum.
We should. But anyway, yeah, some lingering plot questions that we have.
Cop and Goodman, if you're watching.
Yeah. Do Kyle and Jenny ever become a thing?
Now, that is actually quite significant because of the time they spent on that.
Yes.
It kind of dropped off. Those last 3 or 4 episodes, it was not mentioned at all.
No.
Kyle had a different ex-girlfriend briefly in this other episode.
Yeah.
And then in a short scene in the Spy Girls, he's flirting with one of them.
Yeah, so he's a tomcat for sure.
So you're like, okay, did they just forget about? Was that an example of them using different writers for different episodes?
Yeah.
Was that part of Cop and Goodman's to begin with, or was that somebody else who made that up? And why did they drop that? Were they just trying to save it for the episodes of the next season?
Something for viewers to glom onto next season. Yeah. It bears worth asking again. Why is it a big deal that they found Michael Knight being dead?
Oh, his tombstone?
If they had all this intel, they had access to all this intel to begin with, because Michael Knight was a flag member.
It's the same organization. I can understand when they say that those files are restricted for whatever reason. But yeah. Surely they would know he was presumed dead as Michael Knight.
And the third most important question, what does Mobius do? Whenever he goes off with Kit, what happens? Does he just steal Kit and is there like a late 70s or early 80s T-Bird? Trans Am?
That's the thing. Yeah, that's
in his garage.
The principal conjecture would be that he was going to make another version of Car. Don't forget Car. K-A-R-R.
K-A-R-R, yeah. Is it
Knight?
Is that
aggravation?
Now
and retribution?
Yeah.
Receptacle?
Yeah.
The Kit enemy, the enemy Car. He was probably going to make an evil Kit.
An evil Kit, yeah.
Reprogram the original Kit.
A tick. Yeah.
And
but yeah,
turn him into a Team Knight Rider enemy.
Because I remember reading, being engrossed into the Knight Rider lore. The 2008 Knight Rider is a reboot. It does not count as a continuation. So you can't be
I assume so, yeah.
You can't be like, well, you can't be like, well, Mobius kind of hid out for the last 9 years.
It would pick up, it would factor in real time.
Found a nice 2008 Mustang.
Yeah, there would have been a 10-year gap.
Stuck the heart of Kid into the freaking car.
Yeah, we would still be with Ford, except it'd be 10 years later.
Yeah, you can't do that because it's a reboot. But yeah, so what did Mobius do? Why did we just need an evil guy for plot device? But I mean, maybe I'm thinking too hard about it. But what did Mobius do?
And like I say, it's open for.
Yeah, it's open. Yeah, anybody.
Various speculation.
So yeah,
it is a shame they didn't get to continue.
Yeah, it is.
But that does what I said pretty much say every time. That does render the episodes you do have the more savory.
Yeah, the more valuable.
I did not mind a single one.
Well, that's
in here.
That is
that one time where I was really tired and getting ready to get a headache, but all I had to do was rewatch the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, there were no actual bad entries in the entire 22.
Yeah, same here.
Episode season.
Every episode was at least as entertaining as every other one.
Nothing was too boring.
No. The action was just right.
The idiot one-liners.
They just kept
never
coming.
let up.
Yeah.
And they did zany things every single time.
Every time, yeah.
There were formulas and tropes, but what show doesn't have those?
Yeah, that just is part and parcel.
Granted, you keep something going indefinitely, and it's eventually going to jump the shark.
Yeah.
But there was very little shark jumping in these 22 episodes.
Yeah, this basically counts. I'll probably be able to rewatch this entire season at least three more times.
Yeah, I like Trek and Duke.
Yeah.
Those two guys are actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Kyle is very, very fun to laugh at as a
team leader,
paragon of a lame white guy.
Yeah. Yes.
Anything where you see him from a far away enough shot,
whatever,
walking
and
just being a guy on the screen, and you can see his legs and everything. He looks so stupid.
I'm still a big fan of whenever the show like shows him doing this, looking off proudly. In the distance.
The little swinging around shot.
Yeah,
from the one episode.
Whenever he's supposed to be the boss.
Being Kyle, maybe that was his most flattering moment. But his head is so big it looks like a 5-year-old. You know, little kids still have big heads.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Yeah, their bodies are growing. Yeah.
Well, however old he was during the show, 35 or 38 or whatever, he still hadn't grown into his head.
Yeah.
Atta Kyle.
Kyle. And we can never complain about Jenny or Erica being on the screen.
Yeah, the both of them are hot.
Yeah.
And are capable at doing the Knight Rider stuff in their jobs.
Honorable mentions to the Jort Jet and how many awesome poopy shots it was in. That kept me going.
Having Erica, I didn't ever actually want Erica to leave the screen.
Yeah.
Yes, the actual vehicles.
Yeah, the vehicles were great.
Were nifty, even though we were with Ford. I wasn't going to complain that much.
Yeah. Could have been
the Juffles.
Yeah.
It was one of the greatest things about the show.
Oh, yeah.
Jort Jet.
Yeah.
Awesome. And
various
how about that dadgum Attack Beast?
Dude, the Attack Beast was awesome.
It has so much different stuff in it.
You don't
or
even
do they switch them out for every episode?
Maybe it's modular, you know.
Are you allowed to, when you have a team of mechanics?
Yeah, maybe it's modular.
Do you have time, if you know what you're getting ready to go do, maybe it only takes like an hour or two to take the air ram out and put something else in, flamethrower.
One guy holds the door and the other guy undoes the bolts and
that
whatever.
Freaking rocket. Remember there was a deal coming out of the roof too.
Yeah, there was.
There was some kind of missile launcher up in the roof.
How do you even fit a missile launcher up there? You'd have to
build a whole entire compartment.
Yeah. So
remember that panel?
The panel. The one that you don't even see.
Was that our? Oh yeah, it was in the EMP episode.
Yeah.
He apparently you just bring this little flap down in the side of the truck
until it's time.
Right behind the door of the truck, on the driver's side.
You never see it until
you
it's
open
time.
this thing, and oh man, when he was actually being shown pushing these buttons, it's like this big.
It's like
You're like, wait a minute, where is he standing? What big command console wall is he standing up against, working on these equipments, manipulating these controls, and it's supposed to be a panel this big on the side of his F-150. Don't forget, it's not bigger than an F-150.
It's the economy of scale.
The Attack Beast is an F-150.
Yeah, it's not an F-350. It's an F-150. So.
And your two motorcycles that join. And your Zadoop Mustang.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, it's all in all.
And the good fortune and forthright of Flag Agency.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, real quick, while we're going through our favorite stuff about the show, let's not forget and leave these fine folks without putting tribute to, what's his name? The chef.
Yeah, the chef needs honorable mention.
Wasn't he awesome?
He was great.
The entire running sub-saga.
Yeah. It was multi-episode.
Our gourmet, with our gourmet episode. There was like
Yeah.
10 different episodes where he would walk through the garage.
I didn't go to Purdue for this.
Or walk into their meeting room.
Yeah.
Just to talk about what was being served that day.
You just want me to cook you a ham and cheese sandwich?
And to take offense, yeah, it was this great group of running jokes about how he was frustrated because he had to fix non-classy,
basic American,
non-gourmet American food for
I did not
for
go.
these Team Night Riders.
I did not go to Parisian chef school for this. Yeah. Yeah.
What was the thing with? Was that in the earthquake or the EMP? Where he had the bowl of the green, unspecified green stuff.
I think that was in. I think that was in the earthquake.
It wasn't even. It didn't even look that gross.
No, it was just like a green.
We're just
like
going
Jell-O
through,
or
and he
something.
says, "It's minimal damage. What do you call this?"
Damage appears to be minimal.
Minimal, it's a disaster. Look at this.
Well, that tears it, Clayton. We're gonna get this guy.
And he shows you this bowl. It looked just like green-colored dough.
Yeah.
Or some stuff with some pesto or whatever.
Yeah. Minimal damage. What do you call it?
Great chef.
Yeah, he was an unsung hero, as they say.
We'll go ahead and applaud the main two writers.
Yes.
Kopp and Goodman.
Yeah, they're
David Goodman and Rick Kopp, or whoever they were.
Yeah.
Responsible for more than 51% of all that.
And
the funny ass one-liners.
Yeah.
And the stuff like a frustrated gourmet chef.
Yeah. And yeah.
So yeah, I will. The fact that I enjoy everything, ironically, or most everything. But yeah, for this show, I was unable to differentiate.
Yeah.
Pleasures.
Yes.
Ironic and unironic.
Ironic, yeah. It was genuine.
So many TV shows I consider stupid anyway.
Yeah.
That we may as well just call this a good show.
A genuinely good show. If you're a fan of
genuinely enjoyable
action, if you're a fan of action, if you like your 90s
in the formula of the old style 1 hour long action. Yep.
Yeah. So highly recommend it. You can.
If you like laughing at the 1990s.
It used to be hard to find.
Then this is really a show for you.
I don't think it ever got a DVD release. But now the fact...
Yeah, they could go ahead and put this on DVD, couldn't they?
Could, yeah. But the fact is now you can watch it on your favorite streaming service. Like Tubi.
Is it?
Amazon Video.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you can legally acquire it. Yes. So, so give it a watch. Chances are it won't even cost you anything since it's on Tubi, I think. So,
yeah.
So give it a watch. You won't be disappointed.